Coming up, the Broncos look for their first sweep of the Raiders since 2017. Denver won the previous matchup in Week 6, and they look to do it again. Next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, you look at the Raiders in this matchup. They know coming in they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late. So maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays, anything to try and gain a little bit of momentum.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. So the Raiders backed up here to begin their first drive. They'll be led by the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year for 2020 in his second season, former Oregon Duck, Justin Herbert.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. For Marshall, that's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Here's Herbert. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the first down.
These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, Week 6. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. So now here are the Broncos with excellent field position to start off. They'll be led out by a 2-time Pro Bowler in his 6th season now, Dak Prescott.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Prescott now. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And the Broncos are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively. Goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. Fournette. And this time he is in. Leonard Fournette, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Broncos are on the board first here in Vegas. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he is not going to get the first down as they'll spot this at about the 28. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. James now to return. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
He's got Green. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. The punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
And that one off off the mark behind him. Incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. It's caught by Sanders. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Taron Johnson made the stop. They just get the play off. Now Prescott. And he's going to drop this down to Harris, middle of the field. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's again, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Prescott. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Cleveland Farrell. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one caught by Beasley. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Herbert. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5. The 17-yard line.
Here's Herbert. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Herbert on 1st down now. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. DJ Jones racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw here, Herbert. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Wesley Woodyard. So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They'll give Fournette another crack. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. And the Raiders pick it up. He's at the 50. The 30. 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Ryan Succop for the point after. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Open man right side is Shark. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. A handoff to Fournette. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Prescott off play action. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And all the way home for a Broncos score. DJ Shark, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Extra point up and good by Folk, and that makes the score 14-7. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now it's Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Herbert going deep here for Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd down.
To the air again, Herbert. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Las Vegas sending out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 27, Prescott. Green brings it in. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First down, Prescott. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott yet again. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
First down, Denver.
Now Prescott. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Max Crosby, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Second and 21, a lot of ground to cover. Prescott now from the 50. Oh, the slant complete to Green.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And the Raiders have got him. Cleveland Farrell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Here's Chris Jones now as he's on to punt for Denver. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. On 1st down, they'll start out with Akers. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 29, Herbert looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. They'll run on first down with Akers. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
Herbert. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. On the return, it's James. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7 though on the return. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
As they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, 14-7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. And this one complete to Smith. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Herbert now. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Herbert throwing again. He'll dump this off to Akers. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. It's caught by Sanders. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the 1st. Las Vegas sending out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. That one complete. He finds Shark. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. It's brought in by Harris. And he will have a 1st down here as they get into field goal range down just shy of the 20.
First down, Broncos.
Final play of the half, Prescott. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Broncos. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter of play. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, in the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And this is incomplete.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
A handoff, Fournette running left. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Second down, back to Fournette. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Max Crosby in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. Here's Chris Jones now as he's on to punt for Denver. Yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now Let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half. One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A gain of 10 yards. That's good for a Las Vegas first down.
On first down, Justin Herbert. Caught out right by Renfro. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On the give, this is Akers. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Second and 5.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
Now it's Herbert. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
He's a gain of 3. Brings up third and 2.
They'll try and run for this with Akers. And Akers, he is not going to get there. They mark him short of the first. On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. This from 54 yards away. Succop's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On second down, here's Fournette. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Now let's listen in on the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Well, this will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott. He hits Beasley right side.
They don't want it. Keep playing.
14-yard
Prescott off play action. And incomplete on the deep ball. Here's Chris Jones now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. On the return, here's Richard. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game
are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Quentin Jefferson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
He's been pretty solid. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. To throw is Prescott. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
8 yards to go on 2nd down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4. That's the end of
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And he fires one that's intercepted. A.J. Bouye with a pick. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Following the interception, here's Prescott. That's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he's got this down to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense. offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And Folk's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
They can't stop us, baby.
Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Herbert's throw pulled in by Renfro. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game. The delay of game backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Again, it's Fournette. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 16 at their 48-yard line.
Here's a give to Fournette. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
A 28-yard gain.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. That catch good for only a couple.
And 7 at the 17-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Harris. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
He was brought down at the 8-yard line.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it. That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Prescott. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Max Crosby, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. And Folk's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Jordan Smith brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. On the handoff, it's Akers. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4. Now after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 4th down for Herbert. Desperation time. He finds his target, Allen. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. A 1st down throw for Prescott. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Taken down at the 11-yard line.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Fournette. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 82 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Damian Harris, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Now Folk for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Damian Harris who finished things off with a touchdown run. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Complete to Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And Jones has it over the middle. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Herbert now. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Jordan Smith in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Fournette running out of the gun. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Broncos, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.